We have seen ghosts. Personally, we have experienced that. So it is not a myth. So they are always looking for weak bodies so that they can enter and they can enjoy. So nobody wants to associate with these bhoot prets, pishachis, hobgoblins, witches. But Vaishnava Namasashram, okay, you come to me. The entire association, associates of Lord Shiva, are bhoot prets. He keeps them. Come. And not only that, he gives them Krishna consciousness and gives them even parents. In the evening, during the confluence, when Lord Nrsimha killed Hiranyakashipu, that was during twilight. That is Trikal Sandhya, the third Sandhya. Sandhya means the confluence. First Sandhya is when morning, that's why we chant Dhyan Stuvam Yashas Tri Sandhya, Vande Guru Sri Charnan. We chant the Gayatri, those who are initiated, 3 times. From early morning, from Bhor to morning, that's one confluence. Second confluence is midday. From morning it turns into afternoon. And the third confluence is from evening to night, that transition. That is called, these 3 are called Sandhyas. So at Sandhya time he comes out. And he actually, what he does, that any man and woman who have physical union at that time, then those bhoot prets are sent into the womb of that. They first take shelter in the male particle and then it is entered into the woman's womb. And therefore they are demoniac in nature when they are born. And that is what Kashyap Muni told his wife, Diti, not right now. And she was so much agitated. No, my dear husband, right now. And he gave in. I think somewhere Prabhupada is just like a hen-pecked husband. He uses that word. Although he knew, Kashyap Muni knew the right thing, but somehow or the other, he said, he pleaded, but he gave in to the wife's demand. And then, what happened? The first 2 Rakshasas came into being. Madhu and Kaitab, right? Oh, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, sorry. Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So what was my point earlier? Before Ashram. So this is a Grihastha ashram in service of Krishna. When we do it, all our duties with the perfect consciousness, then we are serving. Sometimes Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati used to argue. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they would debate that no, Brahmacharya ashram is the best. And he remained Naishtiki Brahmachari and then he took sannyas. Naishtiki Brahmachari means one who has never taken to Grihastha life or directly from childhood, never married. Guru sees that he is well qualified. He doesn't have to Grihastha immediately. From Naishtiki Brahmachari, then they are given sannyas. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was a Naishtiki Brahmachari before taking sannyas. All his life. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had 10 children. But look who he produced, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, I am willing to marry, told his father 100 times. What is the guarantee that I will get a Krishna conscious woman who will produce Krishna conscious children? So like that he escaped. They used to try to get him married, just like Indian parents, they have that peer pressure on their kids. Even they tried. And what he would do, Bimal Prasad, he would act like a crazy person. He would do something like that. And the girl's parents would immediately say, Chalo, ye to baula hai. No need. We don't want to give our girl. So finally, Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhagavati Devi, the mother, they gave up. They accepted. But father knew who he is and why he is doing it. He is Kamala Manjari, Bimla Nayana Manjari. There is a plan. So, Grihastha ashram. If we live accordingly like that, perfect. As a matter of fact, Krishna, most of the Grihastha ashrams have got darshan of Krishna. and they perfected their lives. If we see, of course, they have to have the able guidance again from a pure guru. Then the Grihastha ashram takes them straight to Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan. It is a service to produce children in Krishna consciousness so that it will be their last life. Big service to Krishna. So many souls, Ei Rupe Brahman Brahmite, Kono Bhagyavanji, Guru Krishna Prasade Paye, Bhakti Latavi. So who is the Adi Guru? The parents, the mother. So, when we produce children and they are Krishna conscious, then we've done a big service, last life for them. Or even if they have to come back, they will continuously come back as pure Vaishnavas in the seva. We mentioned this verse from Bhagavatam this morning. Swargeshu narkeshu apavargeshu samatulya darshana. For a Vaishnava, back to God is not important. This is something that people have caught these words of His Divine Krishna Prabhupada. In initial days, just to encourage everybody to chant, he said, you chant 16 good rounds, follow the 4 regulative principles, you will go home back to Godhead in this lifetime. True, but not to Golok Vrindavan or Vrindavan, unless and until we enter Raganuga Bhakti. He is very specific. Prabhupada says that. But we don't contemplate on Prabhupada's words. We have to follow a true Vrajvasi and enter into Raganuga Bhakti in order to obtain Vraj. It's not a piece of cake. Because when we obtain Vraj, Krishna becomes subservient to us. If he has become subservient to Arjun in Dwarka, what to talk about Vraj? Arjun also loves Krishna. Pandavas also love Krishna. But the love between the love of the Pandavas and the love of the gopis of Vrindavan, of Vrajvasis, it's unparalleled. There's no comparison. So unless and until we enter Raganuga Bhakti, we may end up in Dwarka or Mathura, in the spiritual domain. There is Dwarka there, there is Mathura there, there is Ayodhya there. So we have to we need to qualify ourselves. Manushanam Sarasuk Kashyate Siddha. What is that Siddhi? Siddhi is Vraj Prem. Vasudeva Krishna is saying that verse. That is the meaning. Otherwise, sadhus, there are so many sadhus, they can end up in Vaikuntha. Bhavanam Janmanam Ante Mam Gyanvan Mam Prapadyate Vasudev Sarvamiti Savamatma Sudarlabh. So anybody who accepts Krishna, Vasudev, he said those words in the Bhagavad Gita. One who accepts me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, indeed, I certify them as sadhu. But out of those sadhus, out of all those human beings, only one will attain Siddhi. Because he has seen that perfection before he separated from Nandanandan. That perfection in Vraj of the love and the reciprocation like none other. And that is why he himself is hankering to go back to Vraj as Lord Jagannath. Lord Jagannath is a Dwarkavasi. The temple of Lord Jagannath is Dwarka. But when the devotees come and pull on Rath Yatra day and take him to Gundicha, Gundicha is Vrindavan. So his eyes open wide. And he is most obligated to every devotee who pulls that Rath and takes him to Vrindavan. Just like somebody who is extremely poor, and when one big Seth or a very rich person says, don't worry, I will pay for the entire life your education. And I will arrange for the ticket to US for higher education. How much that person is going to feel? He wants to go, but doesn't have the money, doesn't have the resources, but somebody is arranging it. Try to understand this example. How obligated that person feels. Similarly, Lord Jagannath feels very obligated to all those Vaishnavas in the form. When we are taking Krishna in Rath Yatra, I don't have the time to go into the Rath Yatra explanations, all of it. But those devotees taking participation, the idea is when we are pulling the Rath, we are taking him to Vrindavan from Dwarka. And that's exactly what the gopis did at Kurukshetra after their bath on the Surya Grahan or the solar eclipse. So he is most obligated. He smiles widely, his eyes pop up. Why? Because Mother Rohini was speaking about Braj behind closed doors and asked Subhadra to guard the door. Both the brothers came at that time. Why are you guarding the door? No, bhaiya, you can't go in. It is the orders of Rohini Mata. Acha, theek hai. Mother Rohini has ordered. They sat outside, but they could still hear the katha. And just hearing the glories of Braj, that Mother Rohini, because the queens complained to Naradji when Naradji came. Naradji, you are all Trikaldarshi, you know everything. And every night Krishna is crying, taking the name of Vrindavan, some names of some ladies, gopis, especially one Radha, 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 Radhe, Radhe. And he's crying so much that his pillow is wet. And sometimes in his sleep he's pulling my veil and calling me Radha. Radhe, Radhe. And they all discussed amongst themselves, 16,108, all of them. Yeah, I had also the same experience. I also had the same experience. So how do we find out what is this? Who is this Radha? What is this Vrindavan? So Naradji came, he said, we'll ask Naradji. So Naradji now is in a big fix. How? He knows the answers, but he cannot. So he says, you know what? The best person to ask is Mother Rohini because she was there in Vrindavan. Yes, good idea. Thank you, Naradji. So they all gather in the palace in one big room and Mother Rohini starts narrating the sweetness of Vrindavan, right from the childhood of how Krishna was born. Jayati te dhikam janmana vraja shrayata indira shashvadatrahi jayati te adhikam. This Vraj has become more glorious, O Krishna, because you appeared there. Another meaning of the word Jayati te adhikam janmana vraja. Those who have taken birth in Vraj are even glorious than glory. So Jai means hail or glory. And the word Jai. And anybody taken birth in Vraj is even glorious than Jai. Is it clear? Glorious than even the word Jai. Jai Adhikam. More than glory. So this is the bhav. When our Vaishnava Acharyas chant the verses, the words, we get this, they get the spurtis and they can explain one verse in many ways. Srila Prabhupada used to say that his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada, he just spoke on the first Mangalacharan of the Srimad Bhagavatam Janmadiyasya for 3 months, just on one verse. Continuously spoke 3 months. That is churning. On the academic level, we will never get those realizations, honestly speaking. Hopefully there will be some attraction, more attraction to Krishna. And again I repeat, for those who are students here at the Vidyapith or any other place where they are taking higher education, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta, etc., our attraction for Krishna must increase and we should become humbler. If that has not happened, then it is Shrama Evahi Kevalam. It's a waste. Samsiddhi Haritoshanam. Shrama Evahi Kevalam. Because Krishna is never satisfied. Vedeshu Durlama Madurlama Bhakto. If somebody knows the Vedas, theek hai. But he was satisfied with that Brahmana in Sri Rangam. He was crying and reading the Bhagavad Gita upside down. So many Brahmanas were sitting there and they were chanting first class mantras from the Vedas, Purusha Sukta, Vishnu Sahasranam, all those. But he saw one Brahmin holding the Bhagavad Gita upside down and tears were flowing. So that attracted Mahaprabhu's attention out of so many hundreds of Brahmins that were sitting there. He said, "Hey Vipra, hey Brahman, what are you doing?" "I'm reading Bhagavad Gita." "I see that." Mahaprabhu says that. "But I see that you're holding it upside down." So he says that, "I don't know how to read, but my Guru Maharaj instructed me to read Bhagavad Gita, so I'm trying to follow his instructions." Okay, I can understand. But why are you crying? I'm crying because I see there is a picture in the Bhagavad Gita where Krishna becomes subservient to Arjun and is driving his chariot. What the Supreme Personality of God is doing such a menial seva. That's what made me cry. And immediately Mahaprabhu said, you have really understood the purport of Bhagavad Gita. The rest of them, I don't know when they will really understand. So Vedesha Durlabham, Adurlabham Atmama, Premanjara Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. Unless and until that prem doesn't come within our hearts, then we will become dry, empirical scholars, philosophers. Our school is of prem. His Holiness Nitya Leela Pravist, Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj used to say that we should open a crying school. Unless and until cry. Mahaprabhu cried. 12 years continuous crying and chanting, crying and chanting, crying simultaneously. And that's why we mentioned the other day, he used to very specifically say, don't disturb the mood of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, don't put peacock feather. Because when you put peacock feather on him, he's reminded himself as Krishna. But here, and then he cannot cry in separation. The gopis and Radharani's mood is to cry in separation of Krishna. Now Krishna cannot cry if he knows that he is Krishna. So when he is Mahaprabhu in the Gambhira, he has attained the mood of Srimati Radharani. So these are all very, very fine principles. Of course, most temples they put the peacock feather. But Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj was very, very much total Gaudiya Siddhant. And he was in prayer. When he left his body, he was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. Jagannath Katha, yeah. So such our Prabhupada has produced such wonderful Vaishnavas. We have to look at those as our ideal. Like His Holiness Radhanath Swami, His Holiness Radha Govind Swami. So much love for Krishna, for Bhagavat. Just to name a few, there are more than that. So those are our ideals. So if we just confine ourselves to one Diksha Guru, we may not get that Siksha. We said this morning that, what does Rupa Goswami say? That wherever you can find this rasa, accept it with a lot of greed. Greed is your price for getting Krishna rasa bhavita. And ras here means Mahabhav, Madhuri Ras. Because that's Rupa Goswami speaking. You missed that this morning. I know you were in Seva. So that is our parampara. Mahamantra, Hara means all the Swapaksha gopis, including Srimati Radharani, are present. So when we pronounce the word Hara or Hare, all our acharyas are present in it, including His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. So important. Directly we cannot approach Srimati Radharani, not possible. Gopeshwar Madhur will not allow it, not even allow entrance into Vrindavan. Krishna will not allow it. So we have a long way to go, but sure, information is there. So let us raise our bar, our standard. So now we move on to the 7th verse. Shakshat haritena samasta shastre uktas tatha bhav yata eva sadbhi kinto prabhoya priya eva tasya vande guru shri charnarvindam. As per the scriptures, it is said that the spiritual master is to be honored as Sakshat Hari. He is not Hari, but as Sakshat Hari, as the Supreme Lord Himself. The word Haritva, it is explained, is an adjective. It is not actually the noun. It is an adjective. Noun is Hari, means Sri Krishna. And I explained the other day, Hari means what? Yes, anybody?
Takes away.
One takes away, but Here specifically, even the gopis address Krishna as Hari, Radharani addresses as Hari. Even so, that one who takes away means immediately it should come to mind for us as Gaudiya Vaishnava. One who steals Radharani's hearts, one who steals away the miseries of the Vrajvasis. Not the Hari sitting in Shantakaram, Bhujaka Shayanam, not that Mahavishnu lying in the causal ocean. Although he is also Hari. They are all Hari. But again, I mentioned in the morning, when the girl or the boy in the morning standing by the door says, Papa, and Papa is upstairs. What is the consciousness? I am ready to go to school. Come on down. Just the word is Papa. And in the night, again she says, Papa. She is upstairs in the bedroom, the child. And Papa is downstairs either reading the newspaper or watching TV. Yes, yes, my beta, I'm coming. And just the word Papa indicates that now I have to read her a story and put her to bed. So these are, even the Mahamantra, based on the consciousness. For those who have Vaikuntha consciousness, then for them Hara is Mahalakshmi and her associates. And Krishna is the all-attractive Narayana. So they meditated on the Mahamantra is since time immemorial. It is not just for our Gaudiya Vaishnavas. It's for everyone. So that they can attract the attention of their Ishtadev. So we find that Haritva is an adjective and Hari is a noun. And Haritva is not the Vishaya Vigraha. Vishaya Vigraha means the subject of service. Vigraha means the form. In one sense, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is Vishaya Vigraha. Everybody serves him, regardless in which rasa. And Haritva is Ashraya Vigraha. Vishaya Vigraha, Sri Krishna, Radharani, and Ashraya Vigraha, the Acharya. Because if they have surrendered, they can teach us how to surrender. Very important point. And from this we can understand that Hari and Guru are related to each other. As a noun is related to an adjective. Adjective glorifies the noun. Adjective glorifies the noun. Guru is the only one who is capable of making a jiva shakshatkar. Therefore, shakshat haritvena, double meaning. Shakshat haritva means non-different from Hari, from Krishna. And one who makes the jiva shakshatkar, self-realized. Therefore, shakshat haritvena. And because the Guru is so close to Hari, associate, of Srimati Radharani, Manjri, hence he is called Sakshat Hari. One time, some very sentimental devotees told, Swamiji, you are God, because they were so impressed with Prabhupada's instructions and the love that radiated from his heart. And Prabhupada got upset and closed his ears. Like even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when it was all the different people were not his most close, intimate, when somebody says you are God, he wished to close his ears. Krishna, Vishnu, 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 he used to chant immediately. For purifying him, his ears. They got polluted because somebody called him God. We said, Om Pavitra Pavitra Sarvastagatoya Ya Smareta Pundrikaksham Sabhayar Antarabhyahi Suchi Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu. For purification. Prabhupada would get very upset. He said, no, I am not God, but I am representative of God. That's how he defined. Just like we find, this is another angle to this verse. In this material world, we find that when we get convocation and when we get our degrees, let's say somebody gets PhD. then only a PhD, somebody who is a doctorate, can confer that PhD degree. I'll repeat that. Only a PhD can give a PhD degree. Not a bachelor's or a master will confer it. Right? In the world of academia. Right? Therefore, we have to understand that those who have reached, they're already there. They can only give us that. Otherwise, like a bounce check. Prabhupada gives that example. Supposing if somebody has only 5,000 rupees in the bank and gives a 50,000 rupee check, what is going to happen when it is going to be able to bounce? That's why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, hey Vaishnava Thakur, Dayarish Thakur, Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite bar tomar shakti ache, ami to kangal, Krishna, Krishna boli dhai tova pache. He is yours. He is controlled by you. If Krishna says, yes, please, here is a new devotee, take him. He has many faults. Immediately Krishna must listen. Shadanga Sharanagati hoi bejar, tar prarthna sune Vrajendra Kumar. Introductory song of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We mentioned this song and the same stanza. One who is fully surrendered, Sharanagati, with all the 6 names, Dainya, Atma, Nevadan, Gopti Varan, Avashya Rakshibe Krishna Vishwash Palan, Bhakti Anukul Karya Kare Svikar, Bhakti Pratikul Karya Vrajan Angikar. Krishna must listen to them. There's no way that he cannot. Especially our Gaudiya Acharyas, they are Manjaris. How can they not listen? Krishna needs their favor. Lalita Vishaka says, no, you can't go. Finished. And if you insist, we will give you danda. Radharani has told us that. Leave. Enough, you have upset her. But the Manjaris, they're very soft-hearted like Radharani. Although Radharani externally shows that she is very upset, but internally her tears are basically her heart that, why did you not come, Krishna? I'm still waiting for you. Do something to take over my sulky mood, take over my man, pacify me. I want you close to me. The Manjaris know that. So one of them escapes from the Jhunda or the group of the Varishta Gopis, the Alibir, and goes, Krishna is here, Radhe. And immediately after she's crying all these hours, she feels so enlivened just by hearing the Manjari saying. But then she says, no, I don't want to see her. That sulkiness. Sometimes no means yes, and yes means no. Especially in the Madhuri Rasa. So, the Manjari convinces her. He's perspiring. She's really sorry. Actually, he's holding his ears in front of Vishaka. And Vishaka is constantly bombarding him with a lot of abusive language. Only you can save him. He's heartbroken. One time, it is Ratri, 12 p.m., they're supposed to meet in the forest. Every day, it repeats. It's a cycle. And that is why the Mahamantra, you missed it this morning. When we chant the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, it is the union, meaning the meeting of Krishna and Srimati Radharani and the gopis. Hara means, I already explained, it is all these Swapaksha gopis, including Manjaris, they are Swapaksha also. They are present in the word Hara. Krishna, they are meeting. Hare Krishna. They are still meeting, and also the devotee, when he is chanting, the Raganuga Bhakta is thinking, like, when we say something nice or see something, Hari Bol! So, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, separation in the Ashtakalya Leela. Ratri has finished, Nishant Leela has started, so now there is separation. Hare. Even you are not dead this morning. Hare. Separation. Krishna is chanting the names of the gopis. I am also in separation, just not you. We should not think that the separation is only felt by the gopis and Srimati Radharani. That is why he sent Uddhav. Because Uddhav, the external reason he is puffed up. And he is Brihaspati's disciple. And he is such a big scholar. So he wanted to teach him, as per the normal explanation, to go to Vraj and you will see what is actually all this Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta that you have done is useless when you go to Vrindavan. So when he saw the gopis, and he really melted, he says, wow. He tried to give them instruction. Bhagavad Gita, asochanam asocastam pragyavadan shavasase gadasu nagadasu nanu sochanti pandita na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavitavana bhuyo ajo nitya shashvatamayam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. You are not this body. You should not lament over the dead or the living. As far as the soul is concerned, it doesn't die. It doesn't get withered. Vasamsi, jirnani yatha vihaya. All that panditva doesn't work. Not against the gopis. He was thinking on the way, I'm going to tell them this. Why they are lamenting in separation. Like this, he was preparing his class. Like sometimes we meditate on the class when we are going to give. We meditate what I'm going to say today. How I'm going to speak Srila Prabhupada's purport and expound on it. So he was thinking like that. So when he went to Vrindavan, he saw how much love and prem the gopis had. Nand Baba, Yashoda Mai were completely emancipated. They were not eating well. Entire Vraj was completely barren. The trees would not give fruit. The flowers would not flower. The cows would cry. The calves would cry in separation. Finally, when he met Srimati Radharani, it was so heart-rending for him. The gopis, there is one Vraj Bhav song. Oh, chithiya le jare uddho जाके कहियो कन्हैया से विरह सहा नहीं जाए हो विरह सहा नहीं जाए. Oh Uddhav, please take our letter. Now we cannot bear that separation. Beautiful wording. कैसी निगोड़ी मेरी हाथ की रेखा रूठे जो कन्हैया तो मुड़ के न देखा. Look at our fate. Oh, though such bad lines we have in our hands, that he became upset at us and he left Vrindavan and he didn't even look back at us once. Then in that bhajan he says, the gopis say, Radharani says that we will not complain to Yashoda Mai. Let him break our pots. कौन फोड़ेगा मेरी दूध की मटकी. Like that. So on and so on. कदम की डाली पे खिलते नहीं फूल वृंदावन की गलियन में उड़ती नहीं धूल. Most of you all understand what I'm saying, but for the listeners online, I will translate it. The flowers on the kadam trees, they do not flourish or fructify. And the dust in Vrindavan, now it's not blowing. Dust in Vrindavan blowing means Krishna going for Gocharan and coming back from Gocharan. From cowherding. That is what they are anxiously waiting. In the morning they wait for Krishna to go for cowherding and they are standing in their ataris or the terraces or they open their windows and with the veil, they simply sidelong glances. Here he is, here he is. See how handsome he is. The gopis nudge each other, especially Srimati Radhika. And she is very shy, thinking that somebody will see me. Jatila, my mother-in-law, she will catch me red-handed if I am eyeing Krishna. So sidelong glances. The elders will catch me. So she puts her head down. But the Sakhis, they nudge her. Just seeing that beauty of Krishna going for the cow herding. Coming back. The cows want to go back very fast to their stables so that they can feed their calves. And that raises a lot of dust. And Krishna is covered with that dust. Lord Balram is covered with that dust. their beauty is even further intensified. Godhuli. And they are just waiting. All day he's gone. Now we see him after supper, maybe 6 hours, 7 hours. In separation, they are simply waiting. Just to get a little glimpse of Krishna. We will not complain to Yashoda Mai. Chugli na karenge Yashoda se. You can basically harass us as much as you want, but please come back to Vrindavan. In Gujarati, there is one bhajan written, I think by Narsi Mehta. Same theme. What is the first line? Can't recollect, but that's the same. Ha! He Uddhavji Mara Valane Madine Kejoji Mane to Manavi Lejo Re He Uddhavji Mara Valane Madine Kejoji મથુરાના રાજા ક્યાં છો ગોવાળોને ભૂલી ગયા છો માનથી મળાવી તોલી રહ્યા છો રે હે ઉદ્ધવજી એ મારા વાલા ને મળીને કહેજોજી. Hey Uddhav, the gopis are saying, Radharani is saying, when you meet my lover Krishna, hey Uddhavji, mara wala ne madine kehjoji. Please tell him that we are suffering in separation. And why is he becoming so expensive? Man, we say, kyun itna bhav kha raha hai? Mathura na raja kya cho? Oh, king of Mathura. There is sarcasm here. That is Kadaksh. Calls him Mathura ka raja. So when Uddhav will go and tell Krishna that this is the letter or this is the words that the gopi says, they addressed you as Mathura Raja, he's going to get a lot of pain. Because if the gopis address, just like somebody is in a very sweet relationship, normally you say your friend name in a very sweet way, his nickname, or what we call in India pet name. But suddenly if you say, you're never used to saying that, his first name, his real name, then immediately he will be shocked. Arey, today you're calling me by this name? Like for example, my siblings or my brothers, they always call me Bhai because I'm the elder one. I've never heard them take my first name by my name. If they speak that, then I will be in shock. Whole life they always call me Bhai. So like this, Mathura na Raja, O king of Mathura, where are you? So that is to inflict pain. That now you understand what it means when you are just by hearing Mathura ka Raja, how painful it is for you. Can you imagine how painful it is for us? Just in that word, Mathura ka Raja. Mathura na Raja kya cho, where are you? Govardhan ne bhuli gaya cho, you have forgotten all the cowherd boys and girls, the milkmaids. Manati toli reha cho. Tolna means the weigh scale. So now why you are becoming so expensive? We have to, bhav kha rahe ho. So what was my point before I mentioned? Uddhav we were talking about, prem. So some people, they even written songs, Dhai Akshar Prem ke, to learn what is this prem. Uddhav goes to Vrindavan thinking he is going to give them all this gyan, all this shastra. This Brihaspati's topmost shishya. But then he comes back and then he decides, amazing, so much love. My desire is to become a blade of grass in Vraj. To become a little lata. And today also we find that when on parikrama of Govardhan, we find the Uddhav Bihari temple. Just before finishing parikrama, before entering Radhakund, maybe a kilometer or 2 kilometers before that. That is mainly the last main, after we complete the Govardhan Parikrama.
Kund is also there.
Huh? Kund is also there, yes. So that Kunda is, it is said that it is the tears of Uddhav. It is formed from there, from the tears of Uddhav. So this Vraj Prem, just by experiencing it, he didn't want to go back to Dwarka. He wanted to eternally stay in Vraj, even if it is a blade of grass, even if it is a lata, like a shrub or a sapling. So that when the gopis go out for collecting water or with their yogurt or milk or makhan, when they are walking, their lotus feet will touch the grass, and I prefer to become that grass. That is the power. That is the power of Vraj. That is the power of the holy name. Krishna Naam Dhore Kotoba. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that this holy name, what kind of strength it possesses. Koto bol. So, so only a PhD can confer a PhD. And because our Vaishnava Acharyas, they're all Manjaris, only they can give us that bhav. And especially when we are chanting the holy names, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in the first verse, Cheto Darpanam Arjanam. We are cleansing the mirror of our mind, our dirty heart, which from time immemorial, we have been plagued with so much dirt. So the positive thing for the Vaidhi Bhakta or the Sadhak is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It cleanses. Anartha Nivritti. But then after that what? The positive activities what? Negativities are gone. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam. So we know the standard meaning. That the heart opens up like a lily, like just blossoming in the full moon night. And Vidyavadu Jivanam, we increase our knowledge. It increases the transcendental knowledge. That's the standard meaning. Would you like to know the deeper meaning of that?
Yes.
Our Acharyas have commented that when the negativity or the anarthas are finished, positivity starts. And the positivity starts from Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti. When we come into Asakti, we will get Vidyavadu Jivanam, meaning the Ekadash Bhav. Meaning, because we are under the guidance of the Gaudiya Acharyas in Raganuga Bhakti, we will receive we will know sitting here who we are, which Manjari we are. Vidyavadu Jivanam. What is their way of life? Vadu means Manjari. Vadu means Manjari. What is their lifestyle? What is their service? How their whole life goes in the service of Radha Dasya. That is Vidyavadu Jivanam. And who gives us that? Shreya Kairava Chandrika. The full moon, Chandrika, is the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Nitai Padakalam Kamalam Koti Chandra Shushitala Je Chaya Jagata Judai. Millions and millions of cooling effect of the moon, Lord Nityananda's lotus feet, which is the Gaudiya Guru Varga in Parampara. And because the hearts are so transparent of Rupa Goswami and all the 6 Goswamis and all of them coming in the line, when the moon rays pass through their heart, they are completely transparent, inhibited, it comes into the devotee's heart. And the heart is like a Kairav flower. Right now, when I left Vrindavan, the Kairav flowers were maximum in blooming. And a lot of Kairav flowers, garlands were offered to the deities and Prabhupada also. So, right now while we are walking by Bhuteshwar Mahadev and by Mansi Ganga, we find there are some lotuses. And those lotuses close right when it is time for the sun to slowly set, and in the morning they open, they blossom. So this Cairo flower blossoms maximum under the moonlight. And that moonlight is the kripa of Lord Nityananda and our Acharyas. That it reflects in our hearts. And Vitaranam. For the sadhak, Vaidhi Bhakti, we distribute that love of Krishna consciousness. One meaning of Vitaranam. So what we learn from Srila Prabhupada's books, what we learn from Varishta Vaishnavas, etc., what we learn from our Guru Parampara, Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna updesh. Mahaprabhu is instructed. Always speak Krishna consciousness. Share it with others. That is Vitaranam. Because we have received it as it is from Lord Nityananda's lotus feet. Now another meaning, rasic meaning of Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. Vidyavadu Jivanam. When we get in Asakti stage, our Ekadash Bhav, at that time, this Lord Nityananda in Madhuri Ras is Ananga Manjari. And then we are given in charge of Ananga Manjari, and then she actually initiates us into Manjari Bhav. Rup Manjari, Nayan Manjari, Kamla Manjari, etc. They take us by the finger when we are qualified, and they take us to Ananga Manjari. And then Ananga Manjari will bestow us the special initiation of Manjari Bhav. Then we will know, we will actually practically do our seva physically, what our seva is, etc. That is Ananga Manjari. And therefore at Radhakund we find it is no accident that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur made his home in Swananda Sukhantakund, that is Ananga Manjari's residence. Around Radhakund there are the principal 8 Manjaris, their residences are there, principal 8 Sakhis, their residences are there. And at Shamkund, principal 8 Sakhas of Krishna, even they have their rooms or residences. And Ananga Manjari, that is the epicenter of Radhakund. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur has made this his residence whenever he came to Vraj. And the same name, Swanand Sukhatkund in Navadvip. Navadvip is non-different from Vrindavan of Vraj. No coincidence. And then Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur stayed there. When he gave instruction to Srila Prabhupada on the highest place in Vraj, highest place in the universe, it is given in the nectar of instruction, Radhakund. He gave him personal, special instruction. When you get money, print books. So, in liquid form, Srimati Radharani is present in Radhakund. Right there, to please Srimati Radharani, because that is what it is. Print books means Tava Katha Amritam. Our lives have changed, hasn't it not? For the better. Once we have taken to this Krishna consciousness after coming to ISKCON. Tava Katha Amritam Tapta Jivanam. Our lives were miserable. Tapta Jivanam. Kavi Vidiritam Kalmashapam. All the kalmash, the miseries go away when we read Prabhupada's books. Radharani's instructions through Nayana Manjari to Srila Prabhupada. When you get money, print books. Not ordinary. So like this, Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastra Uktas Tatha Bhav Yatha. One example that I can think of, the Christianity faith, they say this. I've attended many, when I was in Chicago especially, many interfaith meetings. And there would be different persons from representing their faith, Islam, Christianity, Baha'i faith, Judaism. And our fortune was to represent our movement, ISKCON, Krishna consciousness, which is the highest in Sanatana Dharma. Within Sanatana Dharma, That is the highest concept. So they would read from their scripture and they would explain why their Allah is so, what the Quran is, what is the Bible, etc. And then I would just speak a few words. One thing that I would normally always say, and this is something that I had learned, which maybe you all can take home. If some from other faith comes and tries to preach to us, welcome them nicely, with a lot of respect. And then softly and politely we can tell them, this is very nice what you're sharing. But honestly, our predecessors and our teachers have taught us something very amazing. You call God or Allah, etc., but we know His name. We know where He resides. We know His name of His parents. We know the names of His friends. We know His activities. We know who He loves, His lovers are. We know what He does during the day and night, 24 hours. So if you can give me more information about your Allah or your Jehovah, your God, I will be very glad to accept it if you can give me more information than what I have right now. And they are shocked. Sometimes pleasantly, sometimes just shocked. So therefore, if you are interested, I can share that information with you. God's name, what He's doing, His parents, His friends, His lovers. We can share if you're interested. So like this, a lot of them are silent, completely contemplating on these words. Wow, what did we just hear? So, we are just not dry preachers. So much power our Acharyas have given us if we read their books, if we read their instructions. We are empowered. So in the Bible it is said, especially this one person in Chicago, his name is Yasudas. Yasu means Christ and Das means servant of Christ. But what he does is he comes to our ISKCON temple, he sits in the back, he is a Christian core to his heart. But somehow or the other, for the last at least 30 years I can say I have been seeing him. He comes, every Sunday feast he comes. He sits all the way in the back. He doesn't go to the front to the deities, doesn't fold his hand, but he just sits silently. And he hears the katha, he takes darshan, he hears the kirtan, and then he silently leaves. He doesn't take prasad also. And he leaves. Somehow or the other we became friends. And he used to, and because I had some attraction in my previous years before joining ISKCON Christianity, I would discuss with him. And in my discussion, I would ask him that Yasudas ji, and he speaks Hindi perfectly because he is from Madhya Pradesh. And he applies all the concepts. He has also composed some Sanskrit verses glorifying Christ. He has. So, and he learns from ISKCON. Whatever concept we apply for Krishna, he applies the same concept for Christ. Like that. So, when we had many discussions with him, one-on-one sometimes, sitting with him, and because I had read the Bible, the basic concepts I know. So I would ask him, Yasudas ji, is Christ God? Yes, He is God, he said. I said, how is it? In the Bible he says, so he says that in the Bible he says, my Father and I are one. So therefore, but then I say, Christ also said that I am Son of God, which Prabhupada would say. So if He's Son of God, means there is a Father. Father and Son are both different. No, they are one because Christ said that. But that oneness is what? Sakshad Haritvena. That oneness is thinking, feeling, willing what Krishna feels. And accordingly, just like when a son and a father, let's say in a business situation, one customer comes and tells the father that, I just talked to your son and he's saying the price of this product will be 20 lakh rupees, as an example. So father says, yes, whatever my son has decided, it's final. Me and my son, we are one. Now oneness means in thinking, feeling. Not because oneness means it's like the Mayavadi oneness, or what the Christians think, that Christ and God are one. They are one body. No, they are not. It is a thinking, feeling and willing of the Father that He is executing. Therefore He is one. Therefore, that's why I wanted to explain that from that perspective, Sakshat Haritvena. Whatever Hari wants, right from the Vaidhi Sadhana to Raganuga Bhakti, they are ready to teach us and take us by the hand into Manjari Bhav, to get Manjari Bhav from Ananga Manjari. So that is Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitranam Vidyavadu Jivanam. And then what is the result? Ananda Mudi Vardhanam. Meaning, the normal meaning that we need is the devotee is in bliss, in the ocean of bliss. But also Ananda Mudi Vardhanam means Krishna is the source of Anand. Radharani is even his source of Anand. So when the devotee enters into Manjari Seva or gets that Manjari Bhav, the ocean of bliss of Radha and Krishna increases. Just like when Gopkumar came, the bliss, ocean of bliss of Krishna increased. Where were you? I've been waiting for you. So can you imagine in Manjari Seva when we are initiated and when we enter into the Nikunja, all the Manjaris will push us in the first. You do this. You do this. That is the bhav. Radharani says, no, she is new. Give her this seva. Whereas us, when we are Kanishta mood, I want to do everything. I will serve Guru Maharaj. I will do this. Push others. And I want to go in the front. That mentality is there in many. I'm not saying here. Me first. All the other Vaishnavas take a back seat. And therefore it is called aparad. Opposite the thinking, feeling and willing of Srimati Radharani. Radha, aparad. Siddhant, apasiddhant. So then when initiated new Manjari comes, they get so much love. Rupa Manjari says, go do this. She's looking simply, should I really, all these Varishta Manjaris are there. No, go. They all push her. Come on, today you will decorate Srimati Radharani's hair braid, or you will apply alta on her lotus feet. And Srimati Radharani, when she sees that new Manjari, she's so pleased. Ananda Ambudhi Vardhanam. Pratipada Purna Amritswadan. And that Manjari, what is that Pratipadam? Every moment. Purna Amritswad means from the internal mood, Radha and Krishna is Purna Amrit. Therefore that is Samyak Kirtan, Sankirtan. Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Prabhupada explained what is Sankirtan. Sankirtan means congregation chanting, we all know the meaning. But Sankirtan means, Samyak means complete. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Radharani, her associates, and Krishna. That is Samyak Kirtan, full Kirtan. That is why I explained the other day. We don't believe in those that are taking away Krishna like Mirabai and all. That's not our mood. We worship Radha Krishna together. Even in separation, we worship them together. And that is why we should never break the Mahamantra. When we break the Mahamantra, we are breaking the Ashtakaliya Leela. The 24 hours, the non-stop Leela that is happening, we break it. Nowadays they do that. I mentioned this in the morning. For this benefit of the devotees who are not present. Oh, you heard it online. Yeah. So to break it means you are breaking.
Proceed, otherwise I don't think you'll be able to.
ठीक है.
You'll have to stay back.
Thank you. So, like this, similarly in the spiritual world also, we can assume the role of Acharya only when we are empowered by Rupa Manjari. Meaning, the Acharya meaning of the other Manjaris. And can perform the functions of Guru. So Guru will always exist. It is not like the Mayavadis that when I obtain my what do you call, my Brahma form, then me and my Guru, we are all one. This Guru business will continue there. So that's why we have to Sakshat Haridvana. That is why Brahman Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jiv Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. Finally, the last verse, very important to take to heart, whether we are in the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti or Raganuga Bhakti, whatever stage, even when we have got Manjari Bhav. Yasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasado. By your mercy we can receive the mercy of Krishna. And mercy of Krishna for the Gaudiya Vaishnavism is his approval that we become Radha Dasyam. That is the highest Bhagavad Prasad. Yasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasada. The mercy of the spiritual master is for the Vaidhi Bhakta. Without his mercy we cannot advance. Yasya, it is Yasya Aprasadan. But when it is combined with the A, because we think we can say that Yasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasado, Yasya Prasadat Nagoti Kutopi. That means by receiving your mercy, we can advance. But after receiving your mercy, we will not advance. Nagati Kutopi. So we have to have that consciousness, it is Aprasada. It is Yasya Aprasadat Nagati Kutopi. Without your mercy, we cannot advance. There are so many slokas in the Shastra that Yasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasada, Yasya Deve Parabhakti. That verse is there, no? Without the mercy of the spiritual master, we cannot obtain the higher, that Parabhakti. One who has unflinching faith in Krishna, unless and until we have unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord and it is directed by the spiritual master, how he nourishes our unflinching faith. And he himself has unflinching faith. That is why he can impart unflinching faith. He has that drid Shraddha. That is why he can impart drid Shraddha, unflinching faith. And when we have that by the mercy of the Spirit, then one can see the Supreme Person of Godhead by revelation. So it doesn't have to be that the Guru has to be physically present. Even within the heart he can reveal. Chakshudan Dilojayi Janme Janme Pravashayi. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. One cannot understand Krishna by mental speculation. And that is the reason why Supreme Personalities of Godhead have taken Guru. Right? Lord Ramachandra had more than one Guru. Vasishtha Muni, Vishwamitra. They don't need Gurus, but they still, for setting an example for us. Krishna took Guru, Balram took Krishna Balram, Sandipani Muni. That Guru Ashray is must. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took Guru, Sripad Ishwar Puripad. Lord Nityananda, who is Balram, has taken Guru, Madhvendra Puripad. Advaita Acharya, who is the direct incarnation of Mahavishnu and Sadashiv, has taken Guru, Madhvendra Puripad. Ishwar Puripad took Madhvendra Puripad as his Guru. So many people think that it's between me and Krishna, I don't need somebody in between. They are number one fools. As Krishna himself has declared that those who claim to be my devotees, they are not my devotees, but those who are the devotees of my devotees are my devotees. But we don't need to rush into initiation. That's another thing. It is not some kind of a fashion. One should feel it from their heart. That this is the person. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Explore other opportunities and see where the connection is. Just like we find that in our personal practical experience also, we may, during the time that we are about to get married, we kind of, meet many, and then there is one person that really clicks. There is the chemistry with the heart. Then we get married to that person. So this is also a sort of a marriage. Once we take Guru, and then that dissatisfaction comes, there is a big problem. We have personally seen, experienced, some devotees are not happy with their Gurus, initiating spiritual masters. And that is why the whole Ritvik movement started. Because of the disgruntlement. They even go and blaspheme their Gurus that they give them Diksha. because of something happened. And it is true, sometimes when gurus are not generally speaking, honestly speaking, they cannot be elected and selected. They are manifest, especially in the older times. They manifest. They are expansions, Shaktavesh avatars of Krishna, Sakshat Dharitvena. But obviously we find that in our movement there is the authority of GBC that Srila Prabhupada had said. So they see the qualification of who is qualified to now take upon the task of leading others, guiding others, and they take the guruship. So gurus should be very careful not to immediately initiate anybody who comes. There are certain who says, okay, come, I'll initiate you. But certain even sometimes make to see how intense the desire within the heart of that disciple is. Whether he's going to, if I say that, not now, next year, not now, next year. Like Sri Siddhanta Susti Thakur. When he wanted initiation, his Bhaktivinoda Thakurji, he could have easily initiated him. He is his guru also from childhood. But he was so humble, he said, no, you go to Gaurkishore Babaji Maharaj. When he went to go approach Gaurkishore Babaji Maharaj, Gaurkishore Babaji Maharaj said, in his mind he was thinking he's such a highly Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's son. And he knows he's Nayan Manjari. Just like Loknath Goswami was not ready to initiate Narottam Das Thakur. But Krishna came, Mahaprabhu came in his dream and said, no, for my pleasure you will initiate him. So he took that order. Okay, because it is the order of Mahaprabhu, I am going to initiate you. So coming back to this point of initiation, never rush. Some gurus make us wait 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. I have heard of 14 years, 15 years. Unflinching faith. Or they are going to flip. They cannot get initiated for the first 2 years, then, oh, I'm changing my guru. Then that is very Kanishta thinking. Initiation is important. We must take it. But even accepting something from some personality within our hearts as guru, that is sufficient enough in one sense. In one sense, it is sufficient. It's like a marriage. You get married to the wrong person, your whole life is ruined. Every day quarrels, every day some problem. Meeting of the minds is not there. So never rush into initiation. Let us not make it a fashion. Don't feel left out. Mostly the people nowadays, they feel left out. And the Kanishtas also, they even kind of say, oh, see, this person joined just like 2 years ago, and you have joined about 5 years ago. You have not got initiation. Kanishta thinking. Are we Paramatma? Do we know what their hearts are, what they are thinking? Do we know what kind of sadhana they are doing? Then how can we criticize them, or we can be so sarcastic about them? Oh, you have not taken initiation. Just because we have taken, what is the meaning of the word initiation? Beginning. Many times I tell the newly initiated or about to initiated devotees when they ask me, don't get puffed up after initiation. Don't think you are better than others. And second initiation, oh, I am Brahman now. You have only first initiation. Internally. Complete wrong mood. In fact, those who are first initiated for a longer time, the more we are in the movement, the more second initiated, the more compassionate we should be. That is the definition. We have to all strive from Kanishta to Kanishta Madhyam, from Kanishta Madhyam to Kanishta Uttam, from Kanishta Madhyam to Madhyam, and from Madhyam to Madhyam Uttam. So in Madhyam Adhikari, to equals we show love, to the juniors, we show our affection. Not by just saying such words like, oh, you are not initiated. No. That is not the mood of a real Vaishnava. And it is Mahaprabhu who decides when we will get initiated. Even if the Guru falls down, this Sampati, honestly speaking, is of Mahaprabhu. It is handed over. So if a Guru falls down for whatever reason, first of all, a pure Guru will never fall down. You have to understand that fact. But somehow or the other, if tomorrow we become Gurus, we are blessed with that, and we get attracted or become victims of Maya and we fall down, you think this is our property when we give Harinam to our disciples? No. It is a property of Srimati Radharani, property of her pure Saivites. It is their property. And a true Guru will always think like that. Like Prabhupada always thought, my Guru Maharaj, in this old age, what can I do? He sent them you to me. Otherwise, an old man like me, what can I do? And he even went to say that you are the disciples of my Guru Maharaj. That consciousness. They are not really disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but Prabhupada feels like that. So when we offer obeisances to a genuine Guru, he doesn't keep that. I mentioned that. We should never keep our praises. Somebody gives us credit for something, immediately Jai Gurudev, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Gaudiya Guruvar. For not one moment, 1 second, 1 millisecond we should keep it. Because it is their property. Where did we learn all this from? From them. That is Yasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasad. Yasya Prasadat na gati kutopi. Without your mercy, it is not possible. Dhayanstuvams Yashastri Sandhyam Vande Guru Sri Charnarve. And therefore, a minimum I remember you 3 times a day in my meditation of Gayatri. So there are 2 Guru Gayatris. I cannot say them because I don't know what the situation is. How many of you all are Brahmin initiated? It is forbidden. So we have to follow the protocol. But those who are Brahmin initiated, out of the 7 Gayatris, there are 2 Guru Gayatris. So we meditate on the respective Gurus and the Parampara. The first Gayatri mantra everybody knows because it has become so common. Surya Gayatri Om Bhurvasva Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. From the Gaudiya Vaishnava perspective, I think I mentioned it the other day. Mechanically we chant, but we don't think, why is it that the Gaudiya Vaishnavas are chanting Surya Gayatri? That Surya, that Om Bhurvasva Tatsavitu means Krishna. What is that verse in the Brahma Samhita? Sakala Griyanam. What is that first line? Raja Samasta. So Krishna is the king of all the planets. Sakala Grihanam. The Surya is the king of all planets. He is the leader. Surya. Krishna is our Surya. Om Bhurvasva Tat Savitu Varenyam. We offer our prayers to him. Bhargo Devasya, that is Srimati Radharani and her associates. Bhargo is internal energy. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis. That's what it means. Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. It means we are meditating. It is not singular. We means all of us. Even when they are Manjari Bha, they all meditate on Sri Krishna for the pleasure of Srimati Radharani, bringing Krishna to Srimati. So we are meditating how we can bring Krishna. He is late. Go check. Maybe he is in Chandravali ISKCON. They sent one Manjari to go check. And then they find him in Chandravali ISKCON. Krishna, come on. Radharani is waiting. Pull. Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. All the 7 Gayatris are so deep. Especially the last 2, they are the calm Gayatris. That is of Krishna of Vraj. So when we meditate on such properly, if anybody interested, I had spoken on that in Radhadesh maybe about 10 years ago. Just Google, YouTube my keyword Satchitananda's Radhadesh Gayatri. And whatever I recollect, at that time I spoke. It was the Srimad Bhagavatam class and the Gayatri part came. I forgot which chapter, which canto. But it led to because all of them there were Brahman initiated. So mostly I touched upon the meanings with whatever little capacity I had. So, Dhyan Stuvam Yashastri Sandhyam Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. We are protected when we are constantly thinking of Gurudev, especially doing the Sandhya. He will lead us to Mahaprabhu, he will lead us to Vraj, the last two verses. The calm Gayatri mantras. Therefore, Dhyan Stuvam Yashastri Sandhyam Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. So thus ends the Guruvashtakam. Very briefly I touched upon the last verse, but I'm sure you all can take home that every word the theme is Vrajras in Madhurya Rasa. That's what Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Pad, as Vinod Manjari has given this. He himself meditates like a Vaidhi Bhakta, that sadhana, giving others, and then in his internal mood, as we try to our best to describe in the verses, each and every verse. So tomorrow, morning session, if anybody has any questions about all the 8 verses, we'll be very glad to take them. If there's any corrections, I would be happy to get corrected, because sometimes during the course you forget some things. Like the other day I said it was Murari Gupta, right? But it was Mukunda. So these things happen. So I'm ready to be chastised or corrected. If somebody has that, please, for my betterment. So corrections, comments and questions will be taken tomorrow. I will end tomorrow sharp at 8:55. 9 o'clock my taxi will be ready to take me onwards to my further journey, because I have to catch a train. We'll have time for breakfast, or we can pack it. Whatever. We'll see. Train is at what time? 11:40. From 11:35 from Palghar.
Palghar minimum takes 1 hour.
1 hour, right? So then, let's say 1.5 hours. It's better. So we have to leave no later than 10. So we can take breakfast. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Gaur Premanande. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Pad ki, Brahmavada Gaudiya Sampradaya Acharya Guruvar ki, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanande. Pancha kalpatro bhischa kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
For Brahmagatri, we also heard like Srimati Radharani goes to Suryakund. 2 verses.
Yes, yes.